Hello, greetings from Boonary. Today's topic is taken from history based on the true story of Albert Einstein. He was known by people all over. What's his life story? Let's find out. Einstein is renowned across the globe for his exceptional intellect. But was he gifted with such sharp intelligence right from his childhood? No. Let me tell you his story. Einstein was born on March 14, 1879 in Ulm, Germany. His family wasn't very well-to-do. They belonged to a middle-class family wherein his father had a job while his mother was a housewife. Einstein was no genius in his childhood days. How do we know that? He struggled hard trying to learn what the teachers taught at school. He was a very slow learner. Despite the efforts, he couldn't grasp well. So, his teachers, seeing his slow academic progress, thought that he might be mentally retarded or would be having some learning disability. When playing with his peers, Einstein had difficulty even in speaking fluently. Take as an example, a person who can't sign the Indian Sign Language fluently, communicating with such a person is difficult as his signing is not smooth or fluent. The signs would be interrupted. Similarly, Einstein fumbled in his speech as he couldn't speak with ease and grace. Einstein really had trouble communicating well. People thought this also was a disability in him. Einstein lost interest in school and wanted to quit. But he was also concerned about his admission into the university if he didn't complete his schooling. What happened next? Let's see. Einstein was later expelled from school. Why? He had disagreements and also questioned his teacher's teachings. This did not go well with his teacher, who thought Einstein's presence might cause a negative influence on the others in the class, and hence he was expelled from school. He was 15 when he was expelled, but that did not deject him. He studied hard and applied for university admission, but was denied as he had passed only 2 subjects. Of all the different subjects, Einstein only passed in mathematics and physics, while the rest of the subjects he had failed. It would have been difficult to gain admission without passing all subjects. Hence, he put forth his best efforts, finally passed, and applied again at the university. This time he qualified and eventually graduated. His career goal was to be a professor, for which he applied at many different places, but unfortunately wasn't selected at any. He struggled 2 years, but to no avail. Finally, he had to settle for an office job as a clerk with no high designation. He accepted the job offer and began working. Yet, leaving his office hours, he had time to write papers about his research on physics and mathematics. He wrote many papers based on his findings and then presented his thesis, which was proved to be successful. His articles were published all over. All who read were amazed by Einstein's intellectual discovery. He was then bestowed with recognitions for his unmatched intellectual ability. What happened next? Have a look. Just when he was nearing his death, Einstein expressed his will to be cremated after death. Why? Einstein knew that there were people who wanted to study his brain for his exceptional intellect. But Einstein objected and made it very clear that he was not in favor of this because he did not want people to study him, as he didn't want to be bowed down to. Hence, he wanted to be cremated. Soon thereafter, Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955. It was then that pathologist, whose name was Thomas Harvey, without seeking anyone's approval, removed Einstein's brain from his body. He did not keep anyone informed of this and did it secretly. But this act fell into Einstein's son's ears. This put Harvey into a compromising situation, who tried to convince Einstein's son that he wanted to study the brain for his exceptional intellect. On finally gaining the approval, Harvey dissected Einstein's brain into different blocks. He and his team then studied each block individually, and it was clearly found that the concentration of a cell that's named glial cells in his brain was higher as compared to any other human brain. When compared with other brains, the number in Einstein's brain was much higher. This was the reason for his exceptional intellect. But just think about this. Someone in his childhood who was a slow learner, not an excellent student, was looked down upon by his teachers, but eventually he possessed a brain with surpassing intellectual ability.